Hello, friends. Happy Friday. I sure hope you can hear me because I noticed there was something wrong with the audio at the outset, but it looks like we're doing okay so far. And Couch gets the first foghorn of the evening. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ilva. Much appreciated. How is everyone doing tonight? Happy Friday. I am so glad today is Friday. It's been a long week, but the weekend has begun, and for me, it's going to be a very long weekend because I'm taking the whole week off, and I'm happy about that. We're going to head down to the beach in Ocean City, Maryland, and I'm going to spend a week mostly drinking, but there'll be other things mixed in. So let's see who we've got here other than my buddy Couch and his darling Ilva. We got Corvette Jim, Voodoo 07, B. CaneRod, Daniel Leslie. Good to see you, Daniel. Texas Piper, Ian Astad, Big Dave, Bona Piper. Hello, Christian. Doug Owen. Good to see you, Doug. Doug, I saw earlier as I was getting things started that you asked the question, what tobacco do you smoke when you're, I forget exactly how you put it, like with a tropical drink or sitting on a beach or whatever it was, but the answer is Haunted Bookshop, of course. I'm feeling fantastic, Daniel. Thank you for asking. Michael Case, hello there. A polo shirt, a dedicated follower of fashion. I wear a polo shirt every Friday night, Michael. But yeah, this one's a little brighter than usual. Lord Hogarth, hello there. Good to see you. Yeah, my wife told me, I said I'm really excited about it being the last show before vacation, and she said, oh, you should have gotten a Hawaiian shirt to wear. I don't wear Hawaiian shirts, so that's kind of silly. So I got the brightest shirt that I own and thought, well, that's something, it's kind of different, so it at least indicates a bookend or something. Steve Russell, hello Steve. JMZ 56, WKR Piper in Cincinnati. Good to see you, buddy. Don't be jealous. You can do it too, my friend. Puny Pipe Man, hello there. And Phil Rivara, how you doing tonight, Phil? So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so she said, well, you at least have to drink some fruity drink. I don't like fruity drinks, so I agreed with her. I decided to have a fruity drink. It's dirty martini, Tanqueray with blue cheese stuffed olives tonight. And why is this considered a fruity drink? Because olives are fruits. You all know that, right? Olives are fruits. Closely related to mangoes, of all things. And mangoes are in every tropical drink. So yeah, I think I'm in good shape. Texas Piper Eddie is smoking rustica in a church warden to the sounds of rain. Oh, keep that rain in Texas, please. So hope you all have had a good week and your weekend's off to a great start. I have had a long week. It's work has just been busy, and it's good stuff. I'm happy for it, but well, I've just get to the end of the day and I'm just dog tired and don't want to do anything. So it's been quite a ride the past couple weeks. And Phil's giving me a nice Hawaiian punch. Thank you, Phil. Peach juice with your pipe. I don't know. I like peaches, but I've never been a fan of like peach flavored stuff or peach juice. I only like I don't even like the canned peaches. They're just kind of. But a peach itself is a good thing to eat. Oh, and I like what do they call it? It's like a very thin cake with sliced peaches on top of it. I can't remember what that's called. I guess it's a peach cobbler. Maybe it's a cobbler. But this is more of a sheet rather than a crumb cake. Anyway. Sir James, smoking some Haunted Bookshop in a Savinelli. Says it's delicious. Of course it is. You can't stick your thumb in a mango. Well, unless you put a hole in it. Mango mixture number 2 would be a nice beachside blend. I don't know, Doug. I just don't know. I mean, I've smoked 3 aromatics in the past couple of weeks trying to find something that I thought my wife would enjoy during the ride. And in the end, we've decided that it's okay if I smoke them, but Haunted Bookshop's fine too. And Corvette Jim's got some peach moonshine going. I might make an exception for that, Jim. Crown Royal Peach with Sprite. A lot of peaches going around tonight from B. CaneRod. Peach Melba? Maybe that's it, Michael. That sounds familiar. Peach flavored pipe tobacco, big deal in Germany. I had peach flavored pipe tobacco. I got it at what's it called? Cigar International up in Hamburg, PA. This was a long time ago, and I think it was like their club was meeting and they had samples available or something. It wasn't good. Name that pipe. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Popovers and cobbler, both good things, Phil. Bona Piper's got capstan and a Nording Hunter with some coffee and enjoying some lovely weather. Good for you, Christian. Couch doesn't like peaches. Do you like peach flavoring though, Couch? Because I'll eat the peaches if you'll take peach flavored stuff. And St. David's Pipes is speaking that Western Pennsylvania dialect that my wife understands. Armchair Piper Ed, how you doing, buddy? Good point, Doug. Hamburg does indeed sound awfully German. No, Daniel, I did not go to the Chicago show. It looks like a lot of folks had a great time there, though. Okay, Couch is giving a no on peach flavoring, too, so no peach for Couch. Yeah, Phil, I don't mean, I agree with you. I don't mean artificially flavored, like peach coffee or something like that. I just mean like the peach is ground up in something. I'd rather we just have the whole fruit. Yeah, Couch hates green beans. You've told me that before. I love green beans. Eddie says, recently tried Cornell and Deal Cube Cut Burley and Burley Ribbon Cut. Yeah, they are both great tobaccos on their own. I think the Ribbon Cut needs a little bit of something with it, but the Cube Cut Burley smokes just fine by itself. Ribbon Cut just burns a little too fast, but nothing wrong with it. Name that pipe smoking Weybridge. Fantastic blend. In a Boswell billiard and drinking a Guinness. Sounds good. John Maines. Lawrenceville Piper, hello. New to the community. John, are you new to the community? And are you Lawrenceville Piper? I'm a little confused, but welcome. Welcome. The guys in the chat will sort it out. Big Country Briar, how you doing? Cole, grilling burgers, sauteed sugar snap peas, and German potato salad. That sounds good. Yeah, peach pie is okay, St. David. That's okay. No, Daniel, I've given up fixing pipes. Or at least I'm taking a very long hiatus. And by long, I mean years, so there's no waiting list or anything. I didn't have the time to give it the attention it deserves. So, not doing that these days. MTB, good to see you tonight, buddy. Phil Rivara was just saying in a previous chat that it's mathematically impossible for Cornell and Duo to have so many misses. I don't know, Phil. I mean, they got a lot of hits too, but they do. You know, I've smoked a lot of odd things in their catalog, and there's a reason a lot of them don't get attention. There's a few hidden gems, but Edwin Pipes and Cigars, hello. Good to see you. Oh, WKR Piper, that sounds good. I love sweet corn. That black pepper really makes it. I don't put a lot of butter on mine, but I do like the pepper. Yes, you don't want to drop the cigar in your lap, although dropping a pipe in your lap can be equally tragic. That's funny, Doug. Doug Owens says that Mark Bremen Pipe Smoker says that he's getting the peach flavor just right in German aromatics is very difficult, and Doug told him to quit smoking fruit and try tobacco. Piper on the 45, good evening. And Burley Nut Bob, don't think I got you in yet. That's true, Voodoo. A lot of people are not fans of Cornell and Duo, but you know, you could say the same of McClellan in their heyday. There were a lot of people who were not fans of. You know, there's always going to be people that like things and don't like them. That's I think really the wonderful thing about pipe smoking is that you can have such different experiences of the same thing, and there's something for all of us. Daniel, the guy I've been referring people to is Tim West, and you can find him at JH Low Pipe, or I think it's just jhlow.com. And if you go to my webpage, CaneRodPipes.com, there's a link right on the first page that you can follow to see Tim's website. Corvette Jim says he likes 2 Cornell and Duo blends. Well, that's better than 1. B. Conrad tried some Sutliff 515C RC1. Is that the stuff that was supposed to be like Red Kick? McClellan's, what was that, 1305 or 1503, something like that. It looked like it would age well. Yes, David, if Yins all could hit the like button, it would be appreciated. Helps get the word out. Yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, the 3 Bob Brunowski blends, the Haunted Bookshop, Old Joe Krantz, and Pegasus. If those were the only 3 tobaccos I had, I would be a very happy man. 5100 Red Cake. Thank you, Ian Dad. I knew there were numbers. Yeah, and yes, variety is nice, and I probably would want some Virginia Flake or Virginia Perique, preferably a flake. But if I could just have those 3, I'd be a happy man. I agree with that, Doug. I mean, I've had some Dan tobaccos. Are they German? If not, I mean, it may be European in general. The aromatics tend to be more flavored with actual things you find on the planet rather than stuff that's obtained out in the Cooper Belt or something. Wherever they get that stuff, they put on top of Lane 1Q. Indeed, Phil. Tim is easy to talk to, but he is a busy guy. He's helped me out of some tough spots, though, by finding things for me, and He's a good guy for sure. Hey, Welsh Piper. Thanks for popping in. Sweet smokes to you, my friend. Daniel Leslie's asking, what pipe in my collection do I not smoke as much as I would like to? Daniel, I've got a couple that are heavy. I like to clench, and I've got a couple like that Boswell calabash that I have. They're just too heavy to be comfortable unless I'm just sitting down. And so I don't smoke those as often as I would like, but it's just because of lifestyle more than there's anything wrong with the pipe. Let's see, St. David's Pipes. What is Pegasus like? It's Haunted Bookshop. If you take Haunted Bookshop and you remove the perique and you put in Black Cavendish, unflavored Black Cavendish, very smooth. It's got some sweetness to it. It's really a wonderful morning blend. I have a bowl of it every morning. It's replaced Carter Hall for me completely. Can't remember the last time I had Carter Hall. Yeah, that's great, Jim. I've never gotten one of Tim's pipes, and that's something I would like to do. But he is a known pipe maker. Yes, his son is now making them. That's right, and he's I've seen him on Instagram. He's doing some interesting stuff. Stanley Smith. Hello, Stanley. Smoking half and half in a Rossi Paul. Fantastic. I've had Dan's Patriot Flake and I've had Hamburger Wehrmeister. I haven't had Gold of Mysore. But you're right, Doug. Those first two are excellent. Yeah, that is funny, Cole. I mean, people don't realize that C&D blends for Greg Pease, but of course Pease comes up with the blends. So. Boris the Piper. Hello, Boris. Yeah, I see people going back and forth about whether Greg Pease selects his own tobaccos or if he selects tobaccos that Cornell and Deal has. I honestly don't know the answer to that. I think there's some collaboration in terms of the choice of the tobaccos, but the basic blending is done by Greg Pease. He finalizes the blend. I believe that's how it happens. I've actually tried to get in touch with him. He's I don't want to just like ambush him on Instagram, so I've tried to like email him and stuff, and I haven't been able to. I'd love to chat with him for an hour. Oh, is that true, Cole? So according to Big Country Briar, Greg Pease said even back when he was hand blending in his kitchen, he was using Cornell and Deal tobaccos. And Cornell and Deal does have some really good blending tobaccos. I mean, that's pretty much the only ones that I buy anymore. Not that I do a lot of blending, but I like to add perique to some things, and sometimes just having a little Virginia, red Virginia ribbon around is good to round things out, and black Cavendish too. Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever counted St. David. Oh, and Eddie finally got some Wessex Burley Slice. Fantastic. Welsh Piper's asking if anybody has had Choo Choo Train by Dan Tobacco. He ordered a 250 gram economy pack because he didn't have enough for the HNUs he wanted to get. HUs he wanted to get. I certainly haven't. Daniel Leslie, in my opinion, what is one of the most overrated tobaccos you heard was good but didn't like it once you tried it? That's an impossible question to answer, Daniel, because I don't know if I didn't like it because it was just something I didn't like, or if I didn't like it because it was actually overrated. I don't know how to answer that question. Pipe time, I would love to do it. I just have to figure out how to get in touch with them. Name that pipe. I have never had any of Captain Earl's blends. Yeah, Odie, they are both really good guys, Jeremy Reeves and Per Jensen. We've had both of them on the show, and very easy to talk to. And yeah, Per was if I remember, if I recall correctly, he was kind of funny. Although we usually wind up drawing the comedian out of people. Now, Bona Piper, I was trying not to name a blend. But it's a great example, Christian. You know, 1Q, I can't stand 1Q. I don't know how anybody could ever smoke it. But it is the #1 selling bulk tobacco in the world. So obviously that's my problem. You know, I can't imagine that all those other people are wrong about it and I'm right. It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to change the subject for a second here, but speaking of folks that I've had on the show in the past, you might remember I interviewed Trevor Talbert, and I've showed off the recent Talbert pipe that I'm going to actually be smoking later tonight. Trevor has reactivated, I guess, or restarted making YouTube videos, and they're good. You know, he's taken a kind of different approach. It's not really like how-to pipe making or watch me make a pipe, that kind of stuff. And I love those videos, and not putting anybody down that does those. But it's kind of about the tools, and you know, I'm a tool geek and a pipe nerd, so I just love this kind of stuff. He put one out today on this brandy glass shape, and he talked about, you know, how he starts with this phrased stummel that he got from the factory in France, and the challenges of drilling it and how he overcomes those challenges. And he showed off some of the very interesting tools that he has, and he's got some unique, very old, you know, lathe that's more than 100 years old. And it's cool. So check him out. I put a link down below. I'd like to see him make more, and this is just kind of, he's testing the waters right now. So the more people that see them, like them, comment on them, the more likely he's going to be to make more. And heck, we can always use another YTPC guy, right? Let's see. I'm sorry I babbled and missed a bunch of stuff, but I see Patrick Grant's here. Hello, Patrick. Let's see. Boris the Piper, we already said hello to you. Andrew Surigliano, how you doing, Andrew? If I recall, Choo Choo Train has a great tin note, but smoke was just okay. Sweet Vanilla Honeydew is better. I like Sweet Vanilla Honeydew. That's a good blend. Phil's asking if I'm anti-Uno. I've not had Uno. I don't really have much of an interest in it. But I know a lot of people like it. So I'm not anti it. I just don't care to try it. Yeah, so there you go. Christian agrees with me on 1Q, and yet he is an aromatic fan, or much more of an aromatic fan than I am. Uh, Daniel, I used to smoke Captain Black when I first started smoking a pipe and did smoke it for years. I tried to smoke it recently, and well, maybe 4 years ago now, and I don't understand how I ever smoked it. But I couldn't tell you if it's the same as 1Q. I don't know. They were both pretty bad for me. Being a tool geek is a pricey endeavor, Phil. Yes. And having seen your shop, I think you know that too well. Jesse TV. Jesse. Sorry, Jesse. Want to make sure I get this right. Jesse TIV. What's your guys' thoughts on Balkan Supreme? Been wanting to grab a couple ounces to try it out. I don't do a lot of Kia and Balkan blends, so I'll let somebody else answer that one. Edwin Pipe says Balkan Supreme is great. MTMTB thought Autumn Evening was overrated. Doug Owen says Uno got some fairly bad reviews on YouTube and he has not tried it. ENAS Dad loves Peter Heinrich Golden Slices and Dark Strong. St. David's Pipe says Captain Black is nasty. Codger Jim says RLP 6 is Captain Black white package. That's interesting. So that's what I used to smoke, was Captain Black white package. And I've never tried straight RLP 6, but I do like, what is the blend? Everett would, if Everett were here, he'd be able to tell me. Darn it, it's the crossover blend that Lane makes. It's RLP 6 plus a lot of Kia. And I like that one. And it's interesting that RLP 6 might be Captain Black white. So 1Q is Captain Black Royal. Captain Black Original is RLP 6, which I think is the white package. So that makes sense, Doug. Thank you. Yeah, I cannot remember what that stuff is called, but it's definitely RLP 6 and a lot of Kia. And I enjoy it. I'm not going to smoke it every day, but it's a nice change of pace. Oh, so there's going to be a whole series of these, Eddie. I didn't know that. Northwest Pipe Smoker, how you doing? Tom, Balkan Supreme, good value, good flavor. There you go. 1Q is Captain Black Royal from Christian. Birds of a Feather series is awesome. So here we have an opposing opinion. Also, all proceeds are donated to a charity. It's just like Make-A-Wish Foundation ordered 9 tins of Uno and he's glad he did. That's from WKR Piper. Well, glad you're enjoying it, Odie. I haven't tried it. I got too much tobacco. I went on this spate of aromatics because I try to be nice to my wife and smoke something that smells good when I'm in the car with her, only to find out she doesn't care. But otherwise, I'm saturated with tobacco. I just don't need any new blends. It's a good approach, John Maines. Watch the reviews, but reserve judgment until you personally try it, because everybody's different. And if you find somebody that's reviewing tobacco that tends to agree with you, that's the person you want to pay attention to. Glad to hear you're feeling better, Northwest Pipe Smoker. I was sorry to hear that you caught the ick, as my wife calls it. Daniel, you're just trying to get me in trouble tonight. He wants to know my thoughts on Radice pipes. I think Radice are overpriced Italian factory pipes. Do you want me to tell you what I really think? I don't understand the hype around them. I mean, they're pretty and all that, but I think Savinelli is a better value for what you're getting. But people love them, and that's fine. You know, there's no right or wrong. 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Onion's asking how Jack is doing. Onion, I don't know. I've been trying to call him, and it's the strangest thing. Half the time, the call will not go out. I can call other numbers just fine, but my phone will not call this number for some reason. Oh, Ian asked Dad. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for that. It's very much appreciated. So I've been trying to call Jack. Half the time the call won't go out, and when it does go out, it either rings with no answer or there's a busy signal. And he's still in the facility. He's been moved to a new facility. I've spoken to him once since he was moved. He's doing real well, and the goal is to get him so that he can take care of himself and go home. And they think that's absolutely going to happen. So I know he's okay, but between my schedule and the phone's inability to contact him for some reason, I have not talked to him. So thank you for asking, and I know he's going to be catching up on all these videos when he gets home, and he appreciates everyone's prayers. Phil has 8 incest of 4-year-old RLP. That's interesting, Phil. Oh, thank you, Phil. That is very kind of you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. You basically bought me a beer to sip on the beach next week. No, that's actually not what I'm doing, but I am drinking beer on the beach next week, don't get me wrong, but I do set that money aside and try to put it back into stuff for the show. And we have done a bit of upgrading with the the microphone. I think the audio quality is a lot better now. Still trying to improve on the whole Google Meet interface, but I think we bought some new cabling for that, and I think I've got it working pretty well. Last time we used that was when we did the Super Bowl I Hate Roger Goodell tasting. Haven't seen my buddy Tim tonight. James Stumbo, how you doing, James? I already have my case of Haunted Bookshop packed and ready to go. Yeah, Phil, sorry to tease you about the autocorrect, but I couldn't resist that one. So Daniel's looking for a buyer for his pot-shaped mid-range Radice. If anybody's interested, get in touch with Daniel Leslie. Oh, Tim was here at the beginning? Okay, maybe he's visiting the little Tim's room. Or retying his smoking jacket. The audio still sucks. Because you still hear me. Thanks, Phil. Love you too. Yeah, Eddie, I don't even know what a case of Haunted Bookshop is. Is that like 12 pounds? Or I don't know what's in a case of Haunted Bookshop. HGL. Thank you, Doug. That is the blend I was looking for. Actually, was it his wife, Doug? Because the story I heard was that he liked to smoke in the office, and the secretaries complained because he smoked a lot of Kia, and the secretaries complained, so he blended it to make them happy. But the wife works too. Gary Edminster, Lane 1Q mixed with blackberry and a 4th generation freehand. Well, there you go. And Donald Hughes. How you doing? Oh, MTB, thank you so much. That is greatly appreciated. I really do appreciate it. You know, I appreciate you guys just showing up to spend this time with me. But, you know, when you chip in like that, it's a big help. A dozen dusty books, it might well be. That's right, Eddie. The story works either way. Some woman didn't like a lot of Kia. So I'm looking forward to getting to these olives tonight. I've been using the jalapeno stuffed ones, and I forget the name of the brand of olive, but they're really good because they pickle them and then they put them into a very light brine. So you can't use the brine to make a dirty martini. But that's okay. I got a separate bottle of olive juice for that. But it keeps them crispy. And the jalapeno ones were great because you bite into it and you get that crunch as you bit into the jalapeno pepper, and they were nice and hot. I know, Tom, it would have to be a very sick person that didn't love a lot of Kia. There you go, Odie. You got over, you know, and I don't know if it's the same with you, but, you know, my wife will have to take, you know, we'll be gone for 4 days and she'll take 8 pairs of pants and 12 shirts and 4 changes of shoes, and then she'll get mad at me because I take 3 jars of tobacco. I don't know. Three gallons of gas, indeed, Phil. Jeffrey, I do not have my straw hat ready, but I did buy a new hat. It's one of those, you know, beach hats, big brim, sits on top of your head kind of thing. It's got the loop that goes under your chin. Because you can't have hair like this and sit on the beach without a hat. Yeah, Patrick, those, oh boy, I wish I remembered the name of it. It's something like Manzetti or Manchetti. It's an Italian name. And so I'm really looking forward to trying the blue cheese ones to see how they taste. And yes, Eddie, there's no vermouth. I like them very dry. Oh, the lot of Kia lovers are coming out of the woodwork now. You're right, it doesn't bite, St. David. It definitely doesn't bite. But I just find it too sharp. No, Christian, I did have my fez on a few mornings back. But yeah, what hair? Thank you, Michael. I did have my fez on a few mornings back because my wife had me turn the air conditioner down to the keep neat in the setting, and it was just too cold when I got up in the morning. Corvette Jim says he never makes it to the beach. He gets stuck at the bar. I've got a solution for that. There's a bar right where we're going in Ocean City. There's a bar right outside our hotel. That's right on the beach. And I have a Stanley thermos, so I'm good. Yeah, Patrick, I think it's a pretty common brand because we've seen it in supermarkets, we've seen it in the liquor stores here. I think we've seen it in Pittsburgh too. So we are all the same, Odie. That's true. You could just cover your head in sunscreen or mud, Phil. That would work. They're pickled in vermouth. I did not know that, Voodoo. I'll have to double check the label. Um, but that's okay. Phil, I can't do a fez either, to be honest. I mean, if by do you mean pull it off and look good. Orange and grapefruit crushes from Ocean City. Yeah, Andrew. I got I my wife did not like the orange crush. She said it was too sweet for her. But I tried it. I thought it was good. All right, St. David, thank you for joining us tonight. You have a great weekend, buddy. Enjoy spending time in a drinking town with a fishing problem. Good one, Jim. Standoffish thermos, always out of reach. Those are the least convenient of thermoses. Okay, Voodoo. I haven't tried the garlic stuff. I'll have to put those on the list. Mezzetta. Thank you, Taciturn Richard. Yes, that is the brand. They're fantastic. I mean, I've never had a bad olive, but these are like a step above any other olives I've had. Good forecast for the vacation, asked Michael Case. Google just spoke up for some reason. No, it's actually supposed to rain on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to get there Monday night, and we're going to be there through Friday morning. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have rain 2 days out of the 3 that we've got available. So we'll get one good beach day in. And of course, those forecasts can be ridiculously wrong. So I am done with, by the way, this was the Matches Memorial Friday 7 LA. I don't think I got to say that at the beginning. With Haunted Bookshop. And I'm going to clean that out and move on to the next pipe. That's okay, Phil. We know you, buddy. And we like your wisecracks. So next pipe is going to be my Talbert Ligne Britannia billiard that I got a week or 2 ago. Been smoking this pretty much every other day, 1 bowl, just to kind of start to get it broken in. And wonderful pipe. Really enjoy it. And I'm going to stick with Haunted Bookshop because that's what I like to break in new pipes with, and, well, you know. Yes, Odie, I am contemplating the Ohio Pipe Show, and I really want to make it this year. So Ohio Pipe Show, August 19th and 20th. Shameless plug from WKR Piper in Cincinnati. No worries. The One Simplex One. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna try real hard to be there. And last year it overlapped with my father-in-law's, I don't know, 95th birthday, I think it was, maybe 90th birthday. I don't remember, but uh, I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, but I truly don't remember. And where did I put my light? Oh, here it is. This year it will still overlap with his birthday, but I'll be able to sneak away for 2 days, and I'm gonna be there. I'm definitely gonna go to the Ohio Pipe Show. And Armchair Piper and I are talking about the Richmond show. Vegas is confirmed for the 21st through 23rd, Patrick. That's good news. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, I really love this pipe. It's really become one of my favorites. And I wish I could let y'all hold it because the rustication on this just feels so nice. 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Thank you for joining us, buddy. You have a good evening. Sorry to hear you had a rough night, but sleep well and have a great weekend. Doug, that is the perfect martini. I've done that, but I've actually gotten to the point where I just sort of point the cup towards the martini, towards the vermouth. Actually, I don't even think we have vermouth anymore, so I'm just sort of toasting the rest of the liquor. John Maines, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend. So Jim is trying to get to Richmond, and him and his son are thinking about Vegas. And you are going to be in Ohio, right, Jim? Thank you, Big Dave. I am really very, very happy with this pipe. And I'm once again going to say I do recommend you go and check out Trevor Talbert's YouTube channel. I put a link below in the description to this video. I'm not getting anything in return for that. I just like Trevor and I like his pipes, and I think you'll enjoy what he's doing. I mean, we're really lucky. We got guys like Phil and Jason, where we really get to know the pipe maker, and they both got great channels, and I love their videos. We're lucky that we've got a lot of pipe makers that have decided to make some videos that are, just sort of putting them up because they're giving you a peek into their process and, trying to drum up business. And I think Trevor is somewhere between those two extremes. I don't think he's looking to, become a big YouTube. Well, it's hard to think about somebody being a big YouTube personality in the YTPC because we're so small, but I think he just wants to share some of what goes on in his shop, maybe get you interested in what he's doing. But he's a darn nice guy too. Oh, Doug, I don't think I could drink that. 2 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. All right, Jim, good. I look forward to seeing you in Ohio then. I'm definitely going to make Ohio this year. Robert's going to be in Richmond. That's good. Would I please make one like it for each of us? You mean the pipe, Big Dave? No. Ask Trevor, he will. Maybe we can get him to do a YTPC Pipe of the Year kind of thing. Or maybe we can talk to, I don't know how the virtual pipe club works it out, but talk to David Dorian Ross and see if he would want to consider that. I always wanted to try a Vesper Voodoo, but I've never been able to get the parts of it together. But yes, definitely stirred, not shaken. I agree with that. Yeah, Phil, I'm a big fan of dirty martinis. I do not like it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I've had some unusual ones, you know, out to dinner and stuff that I've enjoyed that were not dirty martinis, but they were made with like, you know, jalapenos and stuff like that. But a regular old straight gin martini, it's got to have some olive juice in it, or I can't drink it. Oh, that's an interesting idea, WKR Piper. Tour shirts and a group that goes to every pipe show in a year. Is that true, Phil? You mean that once you're, you know, recognized as a pipe maker, the other makers discourage you from showing what you do? That's unfortunate if it's the case, because I think, you know, 95% of the people watching you just want to know more about what you do. Yeah, Voodoo, I think that's the one I couldn't find. It was some odd liqueur that was in it. Andrew says a true Vesper is a goblet of alcohol. Yeah, Patrick, I was surprised. You know, I was thinking the other day, that's normally in March, isn't it? The New York Pipe Show. So it seems like it's a miss this year, but I heard a couple of people, including you, saying that it was supposedly on. Oh, it's a French wine. Okay. Oh, Phil, that's terrible. I think, well, I don't want to get into politics of pipe making and all that, but it just seems like there's different classes of people, and I don't know. I guess it can, well, like anything, it can be a bit cliquish. I don't know if you have to carry the Walther PPK, Big Dave, but I would. Oh, B. Conrad, have a great evening and a great weekend, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Lillet Blanc, that must be the French wine, Patrick. Voodoo has some. Gives it a weird taste. The original recipe used Kenna Lillet, which isn't produced anymore. And there we have it, our first French joke of the evening. Phil Rivera says the French always whine. Yeah, Doug, I agree. I think there's definitely a reason, and I just love them because they're easy. You know, you can clench them easily. You can work with them. They're great driving pipes. Um, I have a lot of billiards as well. And it's also a very interesting shape if you start to get into proportions and things, which, you know, a lot of people don't care about, but it's fascinating how well proportioned and balanced they are, and, you know, all the golden ratio stuff is exemplified in the shape. And the other great thing about this is it's really old briar, you know, because these stummels were purchased from a French factory, I don't know, 15 years ago, and it had been shut down for quite a long time. So, you know, these are quite well aged. Yeah, and it's a bargain by artisan pipe standards. So. And Robert weighs in and agrees that the billiard is the perfect shape. Doug extending the anti-French sentiment here. I personally love the French. Ponderance of a grave digger. How you doing tonight, Ponderance? That sort of thing can tear a guy apart, Phil. I'd love to do the Vegas show. I just don't think it's in the cards for me this year. I mean, Vegas is going to have to be one that the wife comes along to, and she's still a little funny about traveling. I don't think she's going to be getting on a plane just yet. Doug, I don't know what factory he bought them. I don't think it was Rob. I don't know. He was in, I think it was the St. Claude region. But yeah, I do not know what the factory was. It may have been more than one as well. Ponderance also thinks billiards are great. Oh, Doug, you're going to get me in trouble with the French. Texas Piper tried making a dirty martini with pickle juice. Yeah, it wouldn't be good, Eddie. Yeah, that's a fair point, Patrick. Wait and see how the Vegas show goes this year and whether or not they decide to do it again. Yeah, Eddie, I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on trying that one myself. Oh, Patrick, you should go. I've been to France several times. I used to do quite a bit of business there, and Yeah, Paris is beautiful. It's something that everyone should see. The French countryside is beautiful. It's the problem with France is it's. I was going to say it's full of French people, but that's not nice. Oh, Doug Owen says Butts Chokan went out of business. Maybe the main problem with France. Oh, jeez. Doug basically made the joke I was trying to avoid making. You know, I completely forgot about Real ID, Phil. So I guess even if you have a passport, you need to have Real ID? And it's a real pain to get it, too. Oh, okay, Jim. I actually thought there were new folks running it this year. But Jim's saying it's just the addition of Sally the Pipe Tart. The original promoters are still there. London is nice too, Patrick. Is that true, Michael? Can't have Elvis impersonators in Vegas wedding chapels anymore? What's the point of getting married in Vegas? Real ID not needed with a passport. Okay, that's good. I do have to renew my passport. I hope it hasn't expired. It's a lot easier to renew it if it hasn't expired. Patrick's saying there are new folks. Brian Levine and Dave Peterson took over running Vegas. Oh, okay. Corvette Jim is saying the original promoters, not the ones that just left. So that was the confusion. Elvis is copyrighted. What a surprise. What's the point of getting married? That's a deeper question, Michael. I'd love to go to the Texas Pipe Show, Eddie. Do you know what month that's held in? And what town? I don't know, Voodoo. I mean, the last time I got my driver's license renewed, I just filled out an online form and paid money and they mailed it to me. I didn't have to go to the DOV. DOV? That's not right. Anyway. Shaquille O'Neal owns the rights to Elvis? This is getting weirder by the minute. Well, Donald, there's two views on that. Donald's saying the relationship is so good we need to get the government involved. That's the actual point of getting married. There's the legal aspects of getting married, and then there's if you're I believe a Christian in general, and probably other religions as well, there's a sacramental aspect to getting married. And personally, I think the latter is extremely important and the former is completely unnecessary. First weekend of November, held on the outskirts of Dallas-Fort Worth. That's something I could probably talk my wife into, because we have We have relatives in Texas that she hasn't seen in a while. DMV, thank you. Thank you, Troy. It's having a bit of a problem upstairs with that one. DOV. I've seen that, Doug. The Train with Burt Lancaster. Very good movie. Ponderance of a Gravedigger says he got unmarried 2 years ago and his tobacco collection has tripled ever since. Belgians are like the French without the edit. I like Belgium, and Belgian people were always very, very fun, very nice. I'm sure Shaq would let you have Elvis at your wedding in Vegas. So does that affect like people that are Elvis impersonators doing a show in, New Jersey or something? Do they have to like now pay royalties to Shaquille O'Neal? Oh, Andrew's in Vermont fishing. Giant stoneflies. Wow. 18 midges. Not bad. Not bad, Andrew. You should try some stimmies and see if they take them. I love surface fishing for trout, so if I have even if it's not working, if I see flies around, stoneflies or mayflies around, I'll fish those and put a midge dropper on. So see, Voodoo, you don't have a governor on your collection there, and it's spinning out of control. Yeah, there are some amazing French painters for sure, Doug. Corvette Jim, I'm not going to read that because it could get me in serious trouble. Striper running in New England, says Ponderance of a Gravedigger. I haven't fished saltwater in a long time. My current boss is a saltwater surf fisherman, and I told him I was going to the beach and I'm going to spend a lot of time sitting on the beach thinking about why I'm not a saltwater fisherman. And he offered to lend me a surf rod, and I thought, no, because if I do that, it's going to start the slippery slope, and I'm going to be buying all sorts of saltwater fishing equipment that I don't need. Fly fishing is on hold in Montana because of runoff. Yeah. We've had that problem here, MTMTB. Had a lot of rain, and a lot of the streams that I fish are so small that they just get blown out. Red snapper on the Gulf Coast, says Codger Jim. And Ian asked, Dad has been eating perch all week. Caught 23 within 20 minutes. Boy, when they're biting, it's a fun time, huh? Phil says he loves saltwater fishing, but he's burnt out on freshwater. I just love trout streams, Phil. I don't know if I would ever get burned out on it, but could happen. I grew up saltwater fishing. And it's funny, I always thought the freshwater fishing was strange. And once I picked it up, I wanted nothing to do with saltwater. Nile River perch get to be 800 pounds? Wow, Michael, that's a big fish. $100 for a license in California. Good God. Oh, Stanley, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope you're enjoying the pipes. 1 to 2 pounds sounds about right there, Robert, for white perch. Although I have to admit, I don't think I've ever caught a perch that was 1 pound. They tend to be pretty small in the places I fish. Lord Hogarth is fishing the frying pan outside of Aspen next week. I'm sure that's beautiful scenery. Corvette Jim is just starting to fish again. Good stuff, Jim. Ponderance, I'm sure we got many old codgers tonight. Oh, German browns, yeah. Brown trout are my favorite fish to fish for. I know they're not flashy and they don't get much attention, but they're really the smartest trout in this area. Cod is, yeah, cod, halibut, and rockfish. You know what I'd really like to do? I'd like to try fly fishing for carp sometimes. It looks like a lot of fun. They're hard to catch. It's almost like they're actually referred to as freshwater bonefish. You have to kind of sneak up on them and drop the fly right in front of them. They can be very spooky. Boy, those things fight. Ponderance says he caught a 68-pound striper surf casting with a black bomber swimmer, and it's mounted over his fireplace. Very cool. You're right there, Robert. We're all codgers, but not old codgers. We're young codgers. Tony DeRusha, hello. Oh, sorry, Troy. Troy DeRusha was raised in western Colorado. Some good fishing there. Yeah, that's on my list, fishing Montana. I definitely have to do that someday. And Ian A.S. Dad says he catches carp on corn. And it's a blast. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Poor man's tarpon. That's a good way to look at it, MTMTB. Pondering with Pepe's Pipe says, speaking of Montana, he just got in from a rainstorm. Bow fishing for carp. I bet that was challenging, Big Dave. Michael, are you saying that the Brits come to the U.S. just to catch carp? That's interesting. And Pepe is an Esquire Cadre representative. Sounds good, Pepe. We can all make up our own titles. There's no problem with that. Cotton bait, impossible to get off the hook. Interesting. Voodoo says carp are good smoked. I don't know that I've ever eaten carp. I don't know. All right, Horatio, thank you for joining us, and you have a great weekend too, my friend. Ponderance, if you're going to go to Maine, you gotta fish for some brook trout. Some of the biggest brook trout I've ever seen up in Maine. The problem with Elvis impersonators is that most of them are not willing or able to pay the rather fat licensing fee to use his image. Most of them travel the casino circuit. That's interesting, Doug. Name that pipe. I do not ice fish. I would not be opposed to it, just never really had the opportunity. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes, asking what we're all smoking tonight. He's got a MacArthur Cobb with dark fired. I've got Haunted Bookshop in the Talbot Ligne Bretagne Billiard. What are other folks smoking? Armchair Piper's got Philosopher and his dad's Canadian. That's true, Pepe. You can't go wrong with butter, olive oil, and garlic on fish. Or butter, onion, and lemon. But my wife likes to have fish on Friday, sometimes Wednesday and Friday we have fish, and she'll bring home a new type of fish, and she'll say, "How do I cook this?" I'm like, you put it in the oven, you put butter and onion on it, or butter and garlic, a little bit of olive oil, it'll be fine. You can't go wrong. Carp ate like bangos, milkfish in Asia. You need to steam or smoke them to soften the numerous bones. Yeah, they are a bony fish for sure. Michael Case gives a recipe for carp. You place it on a plank, cook it on an open fire, then throw away the carp and eat the plank. I was about 8 years old in a barber shop in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I heard the barber tell the guy whose hair he was cutting that exact same joke, but it was about bluefish. That's funny. Once you met the real Elvis, the imposters are boring, according to Codger Jim. And I'm guessing, Jim, you have met him because he is around. You know. He usually shows up at 7-Elevens and such. Ponderance of a Gravedigger is finishing up his Carter Hole, and he's going to move on to some Old Joe Krantz. Spearing sturgeon on a frozen Lake Winnebago. That sounds interesting. Voodooed. Patrick Grant was smoking McBaron's Vanilla Cream in a Peterson Phoenix rusticated bent apple. Corvette Jim's got Christmas cookie and a hawkbill. Haha. Phil Rivera says he had a gypsy friend that got kicked out of Las Vegas because he was getting more attention than the contracted impersonator. Yeah. That's not good when you spend all the money and everything to be the contracted guy and someone else is getting the attention. Thank you, ENAS Dad. You have a great weekend, Robert. And yes, please do hit the thumbs up. It helps get the word out, guys. So Patrick Grant had fried porgy for dinner. And Doug Owens says he just had some Copper River salmon sauteed in butter and onion. That sounds good. Both of those sound good. Name That Pipe is still smoking in Weybridge. And Puny Pipe Man has got Low Country Cooper and a 7LE 111 billiard. Wow, Phil, that's a lot of carp. So one thing I'm really looking forward to in the coming week is seafood, because we'll be right there on the beach and there's a lot of good seafood restaurants. But because of the, I think I've talked about this, we went through after I lost weight, my wife and I both did a functional medicine routine where we went on it's called an AIP paleo diet. It's an autoimmune protocol. So we had to cut out a lot of things. And one of the things we cut out was gluten. We never knew that we had a problem with it, but it's actually been kind of difficult to get it back into our diet. We both have had reactions to it. We've added back in a lot of other things, but gluten is not something either of us are comfortable with yet. So unfortunately, we're going to have to avoid all the, the fried breaded shrimp and all that stuff, which is darn delicious, but not on the menu this trip. Paul the Piper, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see, my friend. Good to see you tonight. Open your eyes, seafood. Yes, Phil, yes. And I'm sure, so by the way, I don't think I mentioned this. I will not be here next Friday because we'll be on vacation. But I will be back in time for my normal Sunday video. And I can give you a report, and I'm sure that I will tell you that I did eat some breaded something or the other and probably got sick. Well, that's the thing, Voodoo, and that's what I kept reminding myself as I was losing weight. It took years to get to the weight I was, so I shouldn't expect to lose it in a week. And it's, I'm sorry you have to do it quickly. It's hard, I know. And I wish you luck with it. But for other folks that are trying to, have a more extended timeline, have an extended timeline, because it didn't happen overnight. Thank you, JMZ. You have a great weekend too. Eddie, you're absolutely right. It's better to feel good than to taste something for a few minutes, but you know darn well that's gonna override my logic will be overrided on that at some point. Ah, work has changed. Gotcha, Paul. Well, it's good to see you, my friend. If you can't see the water, don't eat the fish. That's good advice, Michael Case. Any good Mexican restaurants in Ocean City? I don't know. We've never looked for them. This is true, Phil. You can enjoy all those foods without breading. But I had a friend years ago. We used to go out to dinner and stuff, and she'd get something like, breaded shrimp or something, and I'd say, "How are they?" And she would respond, "I would eat an old shoe if you breaded it and fried it." So. Ponderin says he usually has whiskey, but he loves soda with a pipe. I don't really drink a lot of soda, except for when I have a highball with ginger ale, or I don't know if tonic water counts as soda, but I have gin and tonic. Derek Harrington, hello. We're going to be wrapping up in just a minute, but it's good to see you tonight. Yeah, Japanese rice batter is a possibility. I mean, they do all kinds of interesting stuff now. Like, folks are taking pork rinds and throwing them in a blender and making a breading out of that. Well, it's not a breading. I guess it's a porking? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, Eddie, I hope Noom works for you because it worked fantastically for me. And it is a long-term process. You just got to keep that in mind. You didn't gain the weight overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight. Mussel boiled in celery. That is a must try indeed, Paul. I love mussels. Also love raw oysters, but I rarely eat them just because of all the potential problems. Yeah, Phil, a lot of folks like Dr. Pepper with a pipe. I don't get it. Skip the batter and use butter instead. Good advice, Big Dave. Good advice. Yeah, I can eat all the butter I want. I haven't introduced dairy just because I never really drank a lot of milk or anything. But butter is something that I've sort of kept consistently because if you get, good grass-fed butter, it's a healthy source of fat. So, Doug, I will do my best. I mean, I certainly will be posting on Instagram during the week. I don't know if I'll get anything up on YouTube. Maybe I can do a post on YouTube, just a post with a picture or something. I don't think I'll be able to do any video. But like I said, I'll be back on Sunday and I'll try to work some pictures in or maybe take a little bit of video that I can work in on Sunday. Yeah, I get it, Paul. I knew you meant boiled with celery. It's hard to get celery to boil. Corvette Jim says he makes a breading out of jalapeno potato chips. That sounds good. Yeah, I ain't touching Rocky Mountain oysters, Pepe. Korean cooked mussels in white wine. That sounds good, Phil. It's okay, Cole. If you enjoy Dr. Pepper with a pipe, that's fine. I mean, at least we share a love of coffee with a pipe. I'm with you on that. Ponderance says that Dr. Pepper also pairs well. Yeah, maybe I should try it. Yeah, Julia Childs used tons of butter. The whole cholesterol thing is really interesting, and we're at time here, so I should wrap up. But I'll just say this: the evidence that cholesterol actually causes clogging of the arteries and all that is not as good as people think it is. So butter is actually not the bad guy. Milk is only for coffee and chocolate. Amen, Phil. I'm with you on that. Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated. And yes, I'll get those vacation snaps out. Thank you, Name That Pipe. Ron Hardcrackers. Glad to see you, my friend. Good man driving your wife around on errands. You have a great weekend. Jeffrey, I will try to get her on the Ferris wheel. We'll see what happens. Frog legs and wine. Sounds good, Pepe. Thank you, Codger Jim. Thank you all, guys. Well, look, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I've had a great time, as I always do. High point of my week. So you all take care. You have a great weekend, great week ahead. Enjoy yourselves next week. Sorry I won't be here, but I'll be thinking of you all. I will. And like I said, I'll be back on Sunday with a video on Sunday, and I'll see you next Friday. So everybody take care, and thanks again.